Okay, so I'm going to add my bones to the boiling water. And what I have here today, I've rinsed these. These are, I'm using beef feet today. You could use oxtail, whatever bone you prefer, frankly. Any kind of bones. And I'm going to let these come to a boil. I'm just going to kind of blanch them, if you will. So once it comes to a boil, I'm going to kill the heat, take them out. I'm going to rinse them off, and I'm going to put them back in the broth. Okay, these have boiled some of the scum and stuff out of here. So I'm going to just put them over on this pan. I always like using aluminum foil on my pans. Saves me having to scrub and wash them anytime so it's just out of habit I put them on here. Wouldn't be any big deal. But anyway, I'm going to put the bones over here, and I'm going to rinse them in the sink right quick, and then go to the next step. Okay, so I've removed my bones and I've got them rinsed and just setting over here. I'm going to go ahead and blanch a little bit of beef brisket. This is brisket trimmings I had just from briskets when we were going out to a competition, but you can buy just a flat or a piece of brisket, whatever, from your butcher too. They'll be glad to help you out on that. Okay, I'm going to bring that back to a boil, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so my brisket came to a boil. I just kind of wanted to hit it a little better and get some of that foam and stuff off of it. I'm trying to make a clear broth for your pho. This is my first time doing it. Probably shouldn't be filming it, but I am. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat now. Going to take this out, rinse it as well, and then I'm going to get a new pot of fresh water going, and then we're going to roast some vegetables, and I'll go through the different seasonings and everything we're going to do as well. So again, this is brisket. You could use, frankly, any kind of meat you wanted to. If you had some leftover cut up, trims of steak, I guess you could use that. Any kind of like chuck roast or roast. You probably want a little more of a fatty type meat for your flavor than you would, something lean. Okay, I've got my brisket out, got it rinsed, sitting over here, and I'm going to go ahead and dump this out and fill it up with a clean batch of water here, and we'll see you again here in a minute. Okay, welcome back. I had to make a run to the store in between making this, and I ran down to the store, and in Casper, Wyoming, sometimes it's tough to find what you need. I could not find a few items that I was looking for, but I managed to have enough here to make it work. But so what you see now, I've got cooking here in the skillet. Got some fennel seed, got some cloves, what do we got? Cardamom over here, some broken cinnamon sticks here, and then the star anise. So this is what I was looking for at the store. I had enough to make this. I was want to put a little more in there. It's kind of spicy. But anyway, you just want to kind of toast these, and we're going to put them in a bag here in a little bit too, a little seasoning bag. So I'm able to pull them out of the soup when I want to do that. So we're just going to lightly brown these. Don't want to go too hot on them. Meanwhile, I've got over here, I've got a big hunk of ginger. I love ginger, I love it. So you could adjust, there's no amounts here. You guys have to just make it how you want it. I'm just throwing stuff in as I like it. But we're gonna put a little bit of a char on the ginger, and I've got a couple of onions here too. This one's coming along real nice here. You don't want to burn them, but you want to get a nice little char on them. This onion over here is getting real close. But I'll swap it out with this other one here in just a minute. Meanwhile, I've also got over in this pot here, I've got the my water steeping here. I'm going to put all the bones in it, in the brisket, and I also had a pig's foot that I forgot to put in earlier, but I'm going to add in as well. So as we progress, I will get back with you and let you see what's happening. Remember, you want to roast these where they're nice and fragrant but not burnt. You don't want any smoke coming off it. You need to turn it down. Just a little side note too, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. That basically contains everything I've got over in that skillet as well. So this is what I use if I'm making some other dishes, but it would probably work in this case, but I'm not going to use it today. Okay, I'm also putting in some beef tendon. You do not have to have this. Some people don't care for it. I personally do. I also had these meatballs that I had bought at an Asian store too while I was in Denver a while back. So I suppose you could probably make these too if you wanted to. I'm going to try them out. I just went with the regular ones. I do have some tendon meatballs, beef meatballs as well. But since I had the tendon, I'm going to go ahead and skip that and just use these. And in here in a little bit, I'm going to use this spice bag to put these spices in so I could fish them out quicker. I'm going to cook the pho with the seasoning for a couple hours and then take it out and go ahead and continue to cook everything else longer. Okay, gang, so I've got the beef tendon I put in here last, so over about the last 10-15 minutes while this was off, went ahead and finished roasting my all my different seasonings and stuff, and I just put it in one of these little bags here. You can buy these like a lot of times a kitchen store, online, wherever you want to do it. So they're still pretty warm inside here, but I did that because we don't want those to go in right now. I'm going to cook this or boil it, but not at a hard boil. I'm just trying to bring it up. I don't want it really bubbling away on a high heat. So I'm trying to get it where it starts bubbling a little bit, and then I'm just going to reduce the heat, let that cook for 2.5 hours. We'll see, and then I'll come back and add these. I am going to go ahead and put in our roasted goodies. I don't know if y'all saw this earlier with this. I put my 2 onions in, second onion. I broke this in half, but that's my ginger. And probably don't want to use that much ginger, but my wife and I love ginger, and I'll eat it. I don't care how much, where, when. We're connoisseurs, if you will. So we're gonna go ahead and get this again simmering for a couple hours. We do not want it to boil real heavy, and then as it gets a little closer to that time, I will skim the top, try to get, you see a little bit of fat floating on there now on the top here. You see that or not? You see a little bit of that right in here, and then we'll try to skim that off before I put the spice packing in it when I get ready to do that. And then we'll adjust this later. I'm going to actually, I had some steak in the freezer. This is some buffalo sirloin that I'm going to put in there instead of beef steak, just because I had it. And then we'll do these noodles as well. So that'll be coming up. Okay, this is about 2 hours in. And so what I've just been doing is come along, and so I got a pretty slow simmer on it. I've just been coming in and grabbing some foam and stuff off here like this, and not much coming in anymore, so it's looking good. So I just grabbed the foam with this and then rinse it off and do it again. So it's looking pretty good. Here in about 30 minutes, I'm going to crank this back up and the video, and I will add a couple more ingredients, so we'll go over those here in a few minutes. I've got my rock sugar ready to go in, and my noodles are ready to go here later this evening. So anyway, looking good. Hi everybody, Brett Osborne back here with Smokin Hot Butts BBQ, making pho, beef pho. So we're going, I think, a little more of the southern route today. Southern, when I say southern route, meaning Vietnam, they like a little more sweet, and they have veggies. That's why I always eat, and I like a lot of the scallions and things like that, and onions and stuff on top of my pho, including like basil and things like that. I think in northern Vietnam, I don't guess they use as much of those items. I believe they still cook with some scallions, but a little less sweet, and they don't put a lot of veggies in there. Anyway, that being said, just came back up. Been 2.5 hours at this point, so I'm just going to check again here. We don't have not a whole lot of foam and stuff on here. A little bit, not bad. So we're going to remove that. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add, this is a pretty good sized chunk of rock sugar. And then those veggies I sauteed or kind of browned up here, give them a little fragrance earlier. So we're gonna go in with those now. And go from there. The broth is a little more brown than I was thinking it was gonna be. It doesn't bother me, but I'm sure there's some people out there watching saying that isn't right, but that's how I do it. Again, it's my first time. But anyway, we'll get back with you guys again here. It's gonna probably be, I don't know, about another 2.5 hours. Then I'll come take that seasoning bag back out, let you take a look and see how everything looks. And then at that point, we might start getting our bowls ready and our noodles and everything. Okay, y'all, it's been about 5 hours and 15 minutes. You see it's cooked down quite a bit. The water line was right here. It's come down to here. For me, quite a bit more in the broth that I wanted. So I did not get the clean broth that I was looking for, and that's, I believe, from the fat that was on the brisket. Is a lot of that's floating around. And I know it's not supposed to be that dark, but again, this is shot number 1 on pho. So took some of the fat out of there that was just floating from the trimmings, and I trimmed some of it off the different pieces as well. So it's still not looking bad. I mean, let's see, there's a piece that's got quite a bit on there. I didn't catch that one. Got my bag of herbs right down in there, and our seasonings, and then some of the other stuff's falling apart. That pig's foot and everything else, a lot of that tendon is looking pretty gelatinous. Is that the right word? There you go. Some people don't like that. That's excellent in this, and frankly, in my opinion, in menudo too. So anyway, I'm gonna let her keep on going here a little bit more, just to see what it does. I'm the only one eating, so if it's not good, then we've learned a valuable lesson. My first attempt at pho, so here I go. It's been on for, what, 6 hours or so, 6.5 hours. I took out the seasoning bag, and of course been stirring everything. You can see where it's reduced here too as far as the volume of water. So I'm going to go ahead now and add this is an 1/8 a cup of fish sauce, and to me that's definitely where the flavor's at. I have not put any salt in this, but there it is. So can always go back and add it, can't take it out. So I'm going to start with that and try it. And you need to get yourself a good quality fish sauce if you can. And I date mine too, so that you don't want to be in there too long. It will go bad on you. So I probably got a bigger bottle than I needed, but that's all I could find at the time. But I'd get a smaller bottle if you would, but get a good one, and got a good color to it. And then if you don't use it, you need to change it out. So anyway, got that going. I do have a lot of my condiments cut up. I'll show you that here in a minute. And I'm going to go add a couple more ingredients to this, and then we're going to cook our noodles real quick. So I apologize this time of the evening, my big window behind me, a lot of the sun comes in. But what I've done is I removed the brisket, because we're not going to eat that in this dish. You could most certainly use it for something else if you like. We did it for flavor. So I've got myself some pepper ready. This is the buffalo strip that I cut up earlier. Extra fish sauce if I need it, and usually when I go out I like sprinkle a little on, so that's probably what we're going to do. Sriracha. A lot of people don't like adding that up front in the bowl. A lot of people say it's not authentic, or you will lose a lot of your flavors to your pho. So you like to dip that on the side, just dip every other bite. I personally like squeezing a little bit in there. I don't like it diesel hot, but I do like it a little bit spicy. I've got me some serranos. You can most certainly use some jalapenos too. I've tried to cut them, fairly thin. You see, that's the way I like them. Jalapenos work too. I don't like them when, you know, some people cut them that thick. They're too hot for that. I don't like it. Basil, I'm very restricted. I had to get some cut up basil. Absolutely not the what I would normally want, but I could not find it at 2 different stores. I was at Smith's today and Albertsons, could not find any. And then over here I've got some scallions, and then some onion I got cut up pretty thin too. And I love onion. I'll be definitely throwing a lot of that in there as well. So anyway, I'm going to go to the noodles now, and we're getting close. Okay, I turned up the heat just a little bit because I added these meatballs in here. I just want to get them warmed up and cooked up, so got them inside here as well. And then over here I got some water steaming, or boiling, I guess is correct. Went and took those noodles. I think I showed you earlier. I took a quarter of the bag, and that's a lot of noodle. But I soaked them for 30 minutes. I don't think you need to, but I did. I'm hoping it's going to make it quicker cooking, and it just takes a little bit longer up here in high altitude for me anyway, so I'm trying to do stuff to save time. Perhaps a low altitude you wouldn't need to do that, but I'm trying to save some time when I'm cooking the noodles. So as soon as that water is ripping, which is real close, I'm going to dip it in and have some noodles. See if we can get that going here. I think we're pretty darn hot. All right, we are. I've just got this screen here. You most certainly don't have to use one of those. I thought it might be easier to take the noodles out. Here we go. And we're going to get those rocking and rolling over there. And I'm going to guess it's going to take maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I'll sample them and see how close we can get. Okay, so we've got us our everything in the noodles. That's my serranos, parsley, and scallions. So we're going to go get us some broth now. I don't have laid on. I'm sorry. I do not. I do now. Okay, so we're going to go in and get us some these meatballs here. Here's some of that tendon. I can see the faces all my kids are making right now. So we'll add some of this steak in. I guess, traditionally you could also, I shouldn't say traditionally, I don't know. A lot of people put the steak like over here in the ladle. Like this, and then we'll actually have a little broth put in there and then kind of stir that around. Kind of get a little pre-cook, if you will, on it. And it's done that, and then pour it back in. And then you want to try to use the same broth so that you get your same flavor from the meat as well. Oops. Okay, so we've got our broth over the top. We've got some tendon in there. Got us a few meatballs. One more meatball for the road. Gonna go one more cup of broth there. And it's not bad broth for I don't think for my first time. It's didn't come out too bad. Going to put a little bit of black pepper on there, and then like I said, for me, I like the just a little bit of squish of sriracha. We could go add some more of that. So that's basically it. It's my final dish. I'll maybe have to add a little bit of the fish sauce to it, but that's the Smokin Hot Butts BBQ first ever pho from scratch. So let's see how she comes out. Almost forgot. Almost. Gotta have some of that onion in there too. Yeah, it's the El Yummo. All right, now I think we're set up. I might even just put a few more green onions in there too. I love scallions, green onions, whatever you want to call them. All right, we'll give it a whirl again here. Okay, I want to put a little more fish sauce in it, but I like a lot of salt. So it's probably good, you know, so people that don't like as much salt, again, you can always add it if you need to. Very good. Man, those spices at cardamom and star anise, all those, man, really stand out. I love those flavors though. You see how my noodles did. Very good. Cooked those perfectly. The buffalo steak is very good. You bet. I wouldn't change a thing on that, except for I might put a little more sriracha in there. I like mine a little more kick. Thank you for watching. I hope this might help you try something new. I just woke up this morning, had some time. I thought, what the heck, let's do it. It was kind of snowing outside and getting a little nicer now. And we thought we'd give it a whirl. So anyway, if you like us, please subscribe to our channel. Hope we'll be getting more videos out soon and cranking stuff out. If there's something you want to see me try or you got some questions, feel free to let us know. But punch that button at the bottom there, and we hope to see you guys back here again soon. Take care.